Hey guys, it's ayebeepeee and welcome back to my channel, and we are here with another Talking CJ. And we're actually here to finish a little mini series within the series of Talking CJs about the stages of death. We are here with Rigor Mortis today. So like the other ones, Rigor Mortis is Latin. Rigor means stiffness and mortis means of death, so stiffness of death. It's also known as postmortem rigidity. It is the third stage of death, but it is also one of the most recognizable of all of them. And it's used to estimate time of death. It can affect you as soon as 4 hours after death, but it does already show in the heart muscles about an hour after. There is a chemical change in your body that causes the stiffness of the muscles and limbs, and the maximum stiffness is about 12 to 24 hours after death. The main cause of rigor mortis is depletions of the cell's energy molecule ATP, and without it your muscles just don't work well. And rigor mortis can also affect the joints too. The joints get stiff after 1 to 3 days after death. Your general tissue starts to decay. And a type of digestive enzyme is what causes the muscles to relax once rigor mortis passes. So there's a few stages of rigor mortis. The first one is absent. Your body is still recovering small bits of oxygen in the blood after you die. So that's what's causing the muscles to still be soft. But then primary flaccidity sets in, and it's at the time of death. And all your muscles in your upper body completely relax, and then your lower body follows. And this is when you see a lot of people relieve themselves after death. And then the next stage is minimal. And this is when your body just begins to stiffen. This is when your oxygen is starting to leave your body, and that's connected to making ATP. So when this doesn't happen, your body gets stiff. Your facial muscles and your smaller muscles are the first for it to affect, and that really begins around your eyelids, your neck, and your jaw. And then the next stage is moderate. This starts about 2 to 6 hours after you pass, and this is when your muscles are really starting to stiffen. And then this also at this point spreads to your organs. It has become obvious that your body is getting stiff, so this is when people can really start to tell you have died, because you're no longer loose or flexible, you're rigid. And this stage is when your joints get stiffened and locked into place. And then the advanced stage. This is when the majority of your muscles are completely stiff and your organs have been pretty affected by this point. Complete. This is when everything in your body is very hard and rigid, and this generally peaks at 12 hours and starts to go away after 48 hours. And then the last stage is past. This is when rigor mortis has ended and your body starts to become flexible again, and you're passing into the last stage of death. Rigor mortis is not permanent, and that's proven by the second flaccidity, and this is the second cycle of relaxation, and it's really when your body starts to decompose. And how they test for what stage you're in is they start by lifting your eyelids, depressing your jaw, and gently bending your neck. If those are pretty stiff, then they will move on to your arms, legs, and other joints like that. Because depending on the stage you're in of rigor mortis, pretty much get an estimate of time of death. And this is also when you can tell if a person had died in that area too, because if their body is not laying as a way of complete relaxation, they could have been moved locations after they have passed. If you have been moved, your body just looks really awkward in the place it's in, and it's a big indicator of a crime. There are some concerns with rigor mortis basing time of death on, because there is a population that might not ever experience rigor mortis, such as children, the disabled, or the elderly that either have very small muscles or already pretty atrophied muscles. Very thin people can have this problem. problem. It's hard to say that you can base time of death off of these when there is really a large group of our people that might never experience it. There's not much that shows in infants, another huge group of our population. Temperature is a huge one. In warm environments, it'll speed up. In colder environments, it slows it down. If someone dies in freezing temperatures, rigor mortis can last several days. And if your body has been submerged into freezing water, that also affects your rigor mortis. Rigor mortis actually won't set in until your body starts to thaw. And like I said, age can really affect it because infants, small children, and the elderly don't really experience rigor mortis. Those age groups don't necessarily have a bunch of muscle mass. Illnesses can cause rigor mortis to speed up or slow down because it causes physiological stress on your body that can actually set in a faster stage of rigor mortis. Body fat also affects rigor mortis because the more you have, the more it insulates the body, and that can also slow down rates of rigor mortis. So also what you did before you died matters. If you did something that causes your heart rate to go up and more oxygen to come in and out of your body, that affects your stages of rigor mortis, and it can cause you to go right into rigor mortis the minute you die. And you can also go into cadaveric spasm where your body just immediately locks up and your hands clench and your mouth locks shut. And for some reason, if your muscles are stretched during rigor mortis, the stiffness is what they call broken, and the body will just move straight on to the next stage of death. It's called breaking the rigor, and you just bend the arms or bend the legs usually to speed up the process. But some other factors that can speed up rigor mortis is being electrocuted before death or what caused your death, having a fever during death, which kind of goes along with illness, and what drugs you have in your system, whether that be prescription or illegal. But things that can slow down rigor mortis is hypothermia, pneumonia, hemorrhages, and if you have any nervous diseases. And even though there are some concerns about only using rigor mortis, it is still thought to be more reliable than algor mortis. And when you use all of these together, you do get an average around an estimated time of death, and it is a lot more accurate than if you just used them all separately. And these were so much fun to go into. I'm really excited we did this little mini series. I will make just a small playlist of all the stages of death in case you want to go back through all of them. But thank you guys so much for watching. Go back and watch my Unsolved in West Virginia series because, like I said, I'm working really hard on season 2, and I worked really hard on season 1, and I just absolutely love it and just want it to have all the love it can get. Also, like and subscribe for me and hit that notification button. That way you're notified the next time I upload. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!